We're always looking for that next big secret, that new productivity hack that's going to change everything. But what if I told you the real secrets to a fulfilled, successful life aren't new at all? What if they've been around for over 1,400 years, just waiting for us? Let's dive into that ancient wisdom together.
Just think about that for a moment. So much of our lives, we're just chasing a version of success that, if we're being honest, just leaves us completely exhausted. But what if the whole point isn't about adding more stress? What if it's about finding more peace? What if the real prize at the end of the day is just a calm, centered heart?
And this really gets to the heart of a struggle that so many of us feel, right? This modern, nonstop search for success. It's like we're all on this giant treadmill, and it just keeps getting faster and faster.
And you see the fallout everywhere, don't you? You've got students drowning in academic pressure, just feeling like they can never, ever do enough. You've got professionals who are just completely burned out, trading their own well-being for that next promotion. It's this heavy, constant feeling of being totally overwhelmed.
And underneath all that pressure, there's often something deeper going on. This feeling of being disconnected. You could be doing everything right, checking all the boxes, climbing that ladder, but deep down, you just feel like something's missing. It's that ache for a real purpose, something that all those achievements on a resume just can't touch.
So this really sets up a pretty stark choice. On one hand, you've got society's definition of success. You know the one. Long hours, nonstop stress, always chasing the next dollar. But then, there's this other way. An ancient perspective that says, no, real success is about discipline, about faith, and about the quiet power of your daily habits.
And look, this isn't just some nice idea or a theory. It's a real blueprint for modern life. It's a time-tested way of living that was practiced by some of the most genuinely successful people in history. And I mean successful not because of how much money they had, but because of the incredible power of their faith-centered routines.
The whole thing, this entire blueprint, really stands on just three main pillars. And they're not complicated, not at all. They're actually very simple, but incredibly powerful ideas. Starting your day with prayer, being consistent in what you do, and building a foundation of good character.
So where does it all begin? It starts with the very first thing you do when you wake up. The first pillar is all about this. A truly successful day doesn't start with grabbing your phone and checking emails. It starts with the Fajr prayer. Think about it. It's about setting your intention for the day before the rest of the world has a chance to throw its own agenda at you.
So why is this one thing so critical? Well, prayer isn't just a ritual you go through. The Quran explains it's for my remembrance. It's a direct connection, a moment to just pause and ground yourself in something so much bigger than your to-do list. And the benefits you get from this one habit? Oh, they're huge. It builds discipline, for sure. But it also gives you this instant spiritual focus and mental clarity that sets the tone for your entire day. And there's that beautiful prayer from the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, asking for blessings for his people in the early morning. That quiet time before the sun comes up, it's just filled with so much potential, so much barakah.
Okay, so that leads us right into the second pillar. And honestly, this one is a total game changer. It's this idea that small, consistent actions are way more powerful than big, flashy things you do only once in a while. It's not about the grand gestures. It's all about the small things you do day in and day out.
And this wisdom is just so profound. It tells us that what's most beloved to Allah are the deeds that are consistent, even if they're small. Think about that. A tiny act of kindness, reading just a few verses, taking a second for gratitude. When you do those things every day, they literally start to change you from the inside. They become a part of you.
So what does this actually look like in real life? It can be super simple. Maybe it's reading just one page of the Quran a day, or putting a little bit of change in a charity box every week. It can even be just pausing for a few moments during your busy day to consciously remember Allah. These little streams, over time, they carve out these deep rivers of spiritual strength.
And that brings us to our third pillar. And this one? Well, it's the glue that holds everything else together. It's character. Because true success is never a solo mission. It's all about how we treat other people. At the end of the day, what do all our achievements even mean if our character isn't solid?
Just listen to how powerful this is. The hadith doesn't say, the best among you are the richest, or the most famous, or the most powerful. It says, the best among you are those with the best character. Wow, that just completely flips the script on what our goal should be, doesn't it?
And these are the building blocks, the core of that good character. It's about being honest always, showing real, genuine kindness to people, having patience when things get tough, and just moving through the world with a sense of humility. These are the things that build trust, that build love. They're what really matters in the end.
All right, so we've talked about the what and the why. Now let's get super practical. How do you actually start doing this stuff right now in your own life? It really boils down to a simple 3-step daily practice. Here it is, simple and clear. Step 1, start your day with Fajr. And right after, just take 5 minutes, make dua, have that personal chat with God, and just reflect a little. Step 2, pick 1, maybe 2 or 3 small, consistent habits. Super small, like reading 1 verse, or making sure you say something kind to someone in your family. And step 3, at the end of the day, take a minute to check in with yourself. Just ask, was I patient today? Was I honest? That's how you actively work on your character.
You know, when you start to put these things into practice, something really amazing happens. You start to realize that the destination, it was never about burnout. It was never about that endless hustle. The real goal was always something so much deeper.
And here's the ultimate redefinition of success. It's internal. It's about having a peaceful heart. It's about having a faith that holds you up. And it's about having a character that brings good into the world. It's about living a life that's pleasing to your Creator. And that's a kind of success that nobody can ever take from you.
So if you remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this. The most truly successful people, the ones who are fulfilled and grounded, they're not always the ones doing some huge, extraordinary thing. They're the ones who are doing the small, good things with a sincere heart every single day.
And so that leaves us with one last question, a question I really want you to take with you. It doesn't have to be some massive, life-altering thing. It doesn't have to change the world by tomorrow. But what is that one small, consistent habit that you can start today to begin building that life of peace, purpose, and real success?